Scruffy, the janitor?
I've never seen you before.
I've never seen you before neither.
Obviously, the murderer is...
My next clue came at 4:15.
He knows who killed them people. In Scruffy's opinion, it were...
So...
Who else has a question for the what-if machine? Scruffy? Fry? I have a question. That question is less stupid, though you asked it in a profoundly stupid way. Anyway, the thing longer seems to be a rousing success. Good work.
Congratulations.
Right
on, Professor.
Who are you?
Scruffy, a janitor. Schedule conflict. Scruffy's gonna die the way he lived.
We can't shoot penguins?
That's... Oh, yeah!
Wee doggy!
Scruffy.
So the...
Who else has a question for the what-if machine? Scruffy? Oh, Fuff. Why bother remembering anything? You're just going to forget it 5 seconds later.
Boy, I've never seen him so down, or ever before.
Dearly beloved, we are here today to remember Bender. Taken from us in the prime of life when he was crushed by a runaway semi driven by the Incredible Hulk. Now let us each remember the best things about Bender in our own way. Professor?
Say more about how great I am. And where's the crying? Let's pick it up, people. So far, it's been crap after crap.
Oh, Danny boy.
I hope you're all happy. You've succeeded in convincing me life is worth living by showing how bad my funeral will suck.
Planet Express stockholders.
There he is! Take it off!
I don't recognize any of you, nor can I recall why I am here. Now, without further ado, a film highlighting Planet Express Inc.'s latest fiscal year.
Planet Express, juggernaut of the corporate universe.
The blue pie slice represents the money we earn from shipping packages, while the green slice represents an $8 bank error in our favor. And finally, the post office meter is...
Second.
It's
Hold
a-
on there. Scruffy votes his 40,000 shares for the mysterious stranger.
40,000? How come you have 4 times as much stock as the rest of us?
Scruffy believes in this company.
Please welcome our new...
So long, suckers!
I'm rolling up the corporate ramp.
It's the end of the line.
We're ruined!
What fevered dream is this that bids to tear this company in twain?
I don't care what Ms. Johnson says. That guy's business.
This isn't a business. I've always thought of it more as a source of cheap labor, like a family.
You're right, Professor.
No!
You suck!
Great Panda of Uganda! We can vote against it!
You bet we will.
Ow! And also, it hurt my feelings.
What are you solids griping about?
They are? Oh my God! I'm a millionaire! Suddenly I have an opinion about the capital gains tax.
Yeah!
richer!
You didn't even refrigerate it, you spineless lobster!
As vice chairman...
Stop doing the right thing, you jerk! Oh, come on!
Look, so we're not millionaires.
Shut your fat mouth.
Beat those no-good signoids.
So pleasant for everybody.
Hit by pitch. Take your base.
No batter, no batter. No batter anymore.
Take your base.
Hey, batter, 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 batter. Hey, batter, batter, batter. Hey, batter, batter. Duck!
Take your base.
Please, lady, I want to live. Can I use bat to protect head?
Apparently not.
Hooray! Scruffy, I make a score point.
I've gathered you all here in the accusing parlor.
I don't even know who this guy is.
I'm Scruffy, the janitor. I'm on break.
Happy Freedom Day! Oh, I think my wrist is broken.
We're not listening!
That's what I'm talking about.
Scruffy's rolling out a large pill.
Zoidberg? Also Zoidberg.
Let me know how that turns out. Oh.
I'm slightly richer.
Scruffy's gonna get himself one of them $300 haircuts. This one's lost its pizzazz. Scruffy's formulated a plan, but you'll need a ready source of nauseating rotten fish.
I've never been sad at a party before. I wonder if my mind is thinking about Kif being in jail.
Jail's not so bad. You can make sangria in the turlet. Of course, it's shank or be shanked. Somebody called the robot devils here to see somebody called Fry. A Mr. Hedonism bot to see you. Very good, sir. Oh, no.
You, Boogerbot, read the code or I'll shoot this guy.
I'm Scruffy, the janitor.
A time spear. A time spear.
I wonder what his life was like.
I guess we'll never know.
Or will we?
Nope.
They won't know, but you will.
Oh, I got a job at the head museum.
Amy? Fry, please. If this is about your futon, I sold it to pay the phone bill that you skipped out on.
Colleen wasn't satisfied with me. Were you, Colleen?
Come on, Fry. This isn't cool. You know what? It's true. You weren't enough for me. No one man is. You were great, but you weren't Chinese, you weren't Cameroonian, and you certainly were not the king of karaoke as...
Have tripled, so we must reduce expenses.
Darn it. You're going on the train there. We can just call shop.
Finished unpinking the ship, Hubert. Now what?
Now we get back to work. And if that means destroying an ecosystem or two, so be it.
Life goes on, but I believe we'll forever carry the pain on the inside.
Professor?
Scruffy, the janitor.
You helped us escape? Even after we locked you in a go-go cage like common go-go dancers?
I couldn't live with myself, Leela. Yet I put monetary gain ahead of preserving nature. Can you ever forgive me?
I reckon.
Yes, you
Fiddlesticks.
After everything we've been through together, do you really think Fry would... The star and the asteroid. They were an egg and a sperm.
Look!
Life. Treat them wisely, with the knowledge that all species are precious.
Well, this is the end.
Sweet topology of cosmology! It's huge!
If we fly into it, it could take us trillions of light years away. There's no knowing if we'll ever return.
Into the breach, meatbags. Or not. Yeah, whatever.
Go, 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 go!
We're back at Earth!
Of course! That was the Panama wormhole, Earth's central channel for shipping.
How humorous.
Yes, it's sort of a Comedy Central channel. And we're on it now.
I get it!
Brace for emergency landing!
Roger that. Activate safety spheres. Also, mine has air conditioning. Horror cloth.
Are they dead?
And the rest! His power supply is shot. He's flatlining.
Is it good?
For God's sake, Bender, keep dancing.
Coma, 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 chameleon.
There, I turned the regular bar into a diving bar.
Oh, I fear I may not survive this war reenactment. I can't believe we're only 12 feet...
Company, attack!
I shall rip out your heart and show it to you. It is done.
A candle that burns twice as bright burns half as long.
And the winner of the war is...
Good war.
Zoidberg's getting overcooked.
Professor, what am I gonna do? I got an emperor all patsied up to switch bodies, but only with another robot.
Wash bucket full.
Scruffy's work here is done. Miss Wong?
No, Scruffy. I am Wash Bucket. I love you. Wash Bucket has always loved you.
Is wrong, Wash Bucket. Oh, it would be sweet for a while, but in the back of our minds we'd know that I'm a man, and you're janitorial equipment.
In another city, we could be anyone we want.
Go. Go now, before I beg you to stay. Yep.
You know, Santa may have killed Scruffy, but he makes a good point.
Pine trees aren't barking snakes. They won't just turn up in a salad at Olive Garden.
Wait! I found a loophole in the mortgage!
And boned.
Oh, I suppose there's nothing left to do but move out. Leela, Amy, pack us a lunch for our new lives under the bridge, while us men reminisce and smoke some stogies.
Okay, what do you got? Okay then! Leila, Amy, come to work topless tomorrow. Sorry, it's in your contract. All female employees must pose nude if requested. No, it's in all our contracts. Here's mine. All female employees must pose nude if requested.
Sounds fair.
Nice work, Hermes.
Now that's what I call fine print.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Plains President speaking.
The local time on Acapulco is 5 years from now. If you are traveling with small children, help them not to kill you before not killing your own parents.
Shut up and put on 4 episodes of The Office.
Perhaps we should reconsider the girly calendar.
All in favor of the Jamaica Thunderclap? That would be me. That's a great idea.
Practically no one. All in favor of me?
Silence! Yes, you knows. Guyses, galses, in that order. Ows!
Interesting. Come on, men! Let's kill him!
Chocolate, Mac, men, the end.
Just ask us some damn questions.
How many calories are in a small green tea yogurt?
Men 5, women less.
Hey, he's lying.
Obviously.
In your face, decumbent urinators.
We usually call it the lightning round.
As you may have noticed, it's getting hotter here. You will all be boiled alive like retired circus animals. Unless you somehow can cross the great alkali...
No,
fine.
No,
Beat
don't
it.
worry about it.
We can't make it tonight. We'll set up camp here by this shoe.
So if anyone's got any good fart jokes, now would be the time.
Goodbye, cruel me!
Never bet against me being stupid.
Enough!
Wait, why didn't that hurt? My wing-wang's gone!
Now go in peace. Or actually, stay here. I'll go in peace.
Good news, muchachos. The ship is nearly repaired.
I do.
Now what? OMG! Being chicks is so much fun!
Now when I say stupid things, guys all laugh and buy me stuff.
What'd I miss?
Hi, I'm Bender. This is my robot Bender. This is my other robot Bender.
We have a delivery to an alien space giant.
You'll have to be respectful.
Scruffy, what is that tiny Bender doing in my soup?
It appears to be giving you the finger, sir. Enjoy. A greater tragedy my eyes have never beheld. Well, into the turlet.
Do you mind doing that later?
Bite my shiny metal ass.
A helping of Scruffy's famous corn biscuits.
Right away, Reverend. Life and death are a seamless continuum.
Four more beers! 4 more beers!
Will my lord be returning to his massive land holdings for luncheon? My lord, the Queen is here for her weekly visit.
Presenting the Queen of England, America, and Turkey.
Where's me consul?
Popsicles, fill your gaping mouth, Whipsicle.
You're alive! Is that how you and your friends are dressing now?
Get your...
Yay! They haven't aged a day. The whale must have some kind of Mobius colon that endlessly recycles time and space.
Yep, that stands up to scrutiny.
Especially this far inland.
It wasn't a shark. It was an awful, incompetent doctor.
It was Zoidberg. He brutalized us with power tools, gypsy curses, and hypnosis. People, please, let's not overreact. Death to the crab! We need to talk. Man to mob.
Over my dead body!
Why are you protecting Zoidberg, Professor? Do you owe him something?
Is he blackmailing you somehow?
Long ago, Zoidberg and I entered into a secret arrangement relating to certain extraordinary events too horrible to so there's nothing to be curious about.
I'm sorry to break it to you this way, but we hate you and we never want to see you again.
We're not your friends. We're your victims.
I was just trying to...
Shut up and give me my kidney back.
Nobody wants to see you ever again. Dr. Zoidberg, I want to see you right now.
Should've known better than to store my antiques in the office. Okay, Myrtleator's finished. Commence mercy killing in 3, 2, yep.
Yay!
What the hell are you doing? He has Yeti in... Wow! Hold him down while I prepare the antidote.
But that's what gave him Yetiism in the first place. Would it just make him a double Yeti?
Don't lecture me about alien physiology, Conrad.
My God, he's like some kind of believable Hulk.
Not only have the defendants failed...
Your Honor, if we could locate
Somewhere beyond the most distant thing ever observed with a telescope.
She always liked not being observed with a telescope.
I move for a mistrial on grounds of double jeopardy. Hubert is the professor's clone. Ergo, they are legally the same person. Since you dismissed the charges against Hubert, you cannot convict the professor of these same charges.
Good news, multiplayers! Come, follow me to the lab.
So long, meatbags! Son of a...
Laying bare the most fundamental...
What the hell is it?
Oh my! There's a frog on a bump on this log that I found in a hole in the bottom of the sea. A bump on this log that I found in a hole in the bottom of the sea.
Dear Liza!
Such finely wrought, intricate beauty.
It's like staring into the face of God.
It's a mirror into Scruffy's soul.
This explains everything, even the Big Bang that created the universe. All that's left is the mathematics. The grand unified theory.
Right! Well done, Professor. Okay, back to work, everyone.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, hold it, girl. Go on now. Get on back to Paraguay.
A notary.
That'll be $10. It's genuine.
I'll save you, Pants. Scruffy, do you have any varmint grease?
What viscosity you need?
No, this isn't mutant.
A huge pyramid in the New York? What badger could have built this?
Amazing! It appears to be some kind of extremely ancient calendar.
Sorry, I was eating a can of breakfast and looking at porn.
Is it just me, or is the world ending more often these days?
I translated more Martian symbols. There's a way off this planet. That underground pyramid.
Just to hear you finish that sentence.
I've never flown a pyramid before, but I used to drive around town in a mausoleum.
It's our moral duty to save as many lives as possible. Mind if I appear? Welcome to the Hardy House. Need to know where and how. Janitors. But that's...
I'll miss you, Leela. But it's okay, because then I'll die.
Got the waterworks, hippie. The final decision will be made not by me. Leela, we're off to Mars. So once I figure out which button launches this... I figured it out.
Welcome to Mars. It is with heavy heart and open arms that we receive Earth's only survivors.
Dad, Gleesh.
Greetings, Marsmen. We come to your planet to construct a gleaming city.
Mars is being blasted out of its orbit.
We're passing surprisingly close to Earth.
Yay! We made it! We're back home!
Okay, today is still a work day, so...
Wait, help!
Good thing Scruffy rescued Leela.
Don't thank me. Thank the ladder.
Oh. That's called a floor. Once a butterfly hits that, she's out.
And you could use the $50 for another gallon of Hello Kitty perfume.
The Bicker sisters teaming up? Talk about cat women on the moon. Why don't you and I ever do things together?
People, as company bureaucrat, I will today be conducting the annual performance review.
Oh no! The firing tie!
I will be evaluating each of you, and the lowest rated employee, possibly Zoidberg, will be fired at sundown. Zoidberg, let the interviews begin. Good luck, everybody but Zoidberg.
My job? Toilets and boilers, boilers and toilets. Plus that one boiling toilet. Fire me if you dare.
Now then, while many of you do half-assed jobs...
Hermes, no!
Yes, my performance review proves the main drag on our profit is the time I waste on performance reviews. I suppose you're here to tell me to pack it in?
Goodbye.
Well, this is it. But I want you to know working here has been the experience of a lifetime.
Off you go!
So, I hear you're a machine. Ow!
Traitor!
Zoidberg? I don't think Hermes really liked you. In fact, he hated you more than anyone ever hated anyone.
You don't understand. He was the only one who cared enough to insult me.
I insult you, you fat sack.
Sure, when it's convenient. But Hermes was always there for me. And now he's gone, thanks to you, Mr. Big Shot 7G.
Tain't a boiler nor a toilet. Pass. A raven's brought word for you, sir.
My sausage made the finals at Oktoberfest. We gotta go back for the closing ceremony.
Sounds like fun.
Ooh, hefty. You can really bash in a skull with this thing.
I know, right?
What? Oh, your awards show.
Also got in a hen house and killed Amy's prize-winning Rhode Island Red.
Not Penelope! I'll kill that robo-rat!
Kill the fox!
It's in a cold, freshwater stream where the salmon eggs incubate.
I'm born, baby!
The new hatchlings are known as fry. After 3 years in the stream, the young salmon are ready for an arduous journey to the ocean.
I do look forward to cavorting in the spray.
The trip will be dangerous. Only 3 in 10 will survive.
Let's all 10 of us go together. There's safety in numbers.
It sure is relaxing getting swept along by this current. Whoa!
Still, 6 out of 10 alive. That's considered good for our species.
5 out of 10. Also nice.
Yep.
Maturity. It is time for the salmon to spawn. Thus begins their 1,000-mile exact stream in which they were born.
Okay, everybody do one of those 3 things.
Walrus don't need no chicanery. Once a lady goes walrus, no one ever goes walrus.
Well, nice
You
try.
gave it a shot.
Pathetic.
No, we beta males deserve better. When we're in charge, we'll treat females with respect, keeping sensible harems of no more than 5. Sir, I challenge you to a duel for control of the beach.
Ooms don't put anyone's life in danger.
Done broke my spine. Nice rack, though. Don't pay me no mind.
Oh, Scruffy, could we please have a little privacy here?
If you can't see me, is that private? The elves are back.
Crushed him flatter than a MacBook.
Myself, you
But you said making a copy of yourself would be a lousy ending.
Like I would, and did. So I created him with a tragic weakness. Artistic integrity.
Of course! How could we have thought a guy with integrity was you, even for a second?
Because you're idiots. Come on!
Back into the mine.
What else is on? Announcing Lord Loquat.
It seems to be emitting musical tones in an effort to communicate.
Yet still I feel empty inside.
You bent my golf club?
Yep. And yet what did it solve? What did the violence solve?
We're going on a corporate team-building retreat.
Who are you?
Jackie Jr., ma'am. Jackie Jr.'s my apprentice. I figure if he's gonna work here, he might as well get to know the team.
Who's she?
I don't know.
So I hear we've been having some trust issues, huh? Okay, team. If I can trust a total stranger, you can sure as heck trust your own coworkers. Good.
Where'd it go? I thought we installed alien-proof air vents!
It's on my list.
What's happening? I didn't know we had a panic room.
Me neither. It really could have come in handy. Like 50 times.
We'll be safe in here. We'll be dead within an hour. We'll have to split into 3 teams.
And I with it!
The name of the game is Candyland.
We're on our way home!
Yep.
Bad news, everyone. The creature is a shapeshifter.
I weren't fooled. A real professor wouldn't never. Darn.
Hey guys, I'm into the party or not?
Totally. We should go on a retreat like this every year.